author of Black Baseball in Alabama, Rough Diamonds of Dixie. It covers the spread of baseball across black communities in Alabama from after the Civil War through about 1950, which most people consider the integration era. One of the things that was important to me for the book was to give an impression of people now that baseball then was really similar. But even during the Civil War, following that, baseball was not really a new game. One of the things that surprised me was that baseball isn't an American game. It first appeared in British books for children as a children's game in the 1740s, 1750s. Even Jane Austen included a baseball game in one of her novels in the 1790s. So last time we got together, I talked a lot about the equipment that was used in the 1800s. But of course, that equipment has its origins. It's much older than that. We talked about the bat. Of course, it's a wooden stick with a narrow handle. It's fat on one end, makes it easy to hit a baseball. The bat has a fascinating history. It originated as one of these. It shares it's derived from the baton, the French word for a small stick. The French saw it when the Moors came up through Spain. They would police their own citizens with enforcers who would carry small sticks that keep the order and maintain the peace. And of course, this little billy club type thing has become pretty much standard equipment for police forces around the world. The ball, of course, has a very interesting history as well. It goes back into antiquity. The Greeks talked about ball. They didn't include it in their Olympics, but they did use it for athletic purposes. And then the Romans, they would play ball. They had a game where they would use a leather ball, some catching, kicking game. We're not really sure of the rules of that one. And then there's the Middle Ages. Middle Ages was a fascinating time without a lot going on in the sports world. So what they would do would be to use common household items for fun. And that would include things, one of the games that they had involved using a goat bladder or a pig bladder. It was inflated and filled, sometimes with water or milk, sometimes with blood or urine, a little bit of all. And then they would tie it off, put it in the fire, just a few minutes, long enough for it to harden on the outside, get really funky in the middle. And then the object of this particular game was known as Stump Ball, was to not be the person that this ball exploded on when it hit. So they would throw it at each other, and they would use their batons or their milk stools or a piece of wood or a broom or a mop or anything, keep it off of them, and whack it back at the person that had thrown it at them. I don't know about you. I'm not sure it sounds like a really fun game. So I kind of prefer baseball as it is now than it was in the Middle Ages. So if you do too, maybe pick up a copy of Black Baseball in Alabama and give it up to from the 1850s on. Thanks for checking me out. Take care.